tracking. All right, the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture, that's expected to resume today. Also, Mining Minister Gwede Mantashe returns to Xolobeni to engage the community following an ongoing dispute over proposed mining in the area. The festive season road safety report will be released by Transport Minister Bladen Zimande today. The report will cover the period from the 1st of December 2018 to the 8th of January 2019. And we will be monitoring developments across the African continent, obviously Zimbabwe, amid protest over the country's collapsing economy. And we'll also take a look at the latest in Nairobi following yesterday's attack on an upmarket hotel and office complex in the Kenyan capital. So those are some of the stories that we will be tracking. And let's take a look at some of the hot trending topics right now. Hashtag Hillbrow. So this relates to an incident that took place in Hillbrow yesterday, whereby it is alleged that someone tried to rob another person and they stabbed this person in the process. The community then turned on the alleged attacker and they actually set him alight and he died. This is how the story goes on the social media platforms. So act of vigilantism there in Hillbrow, and that's why Hillbrow is actually trending. And we'll see, we want your views on that as well, but we'll come back to it later on. And moving on to the hashtag Riverside attack, and that's of course what's happening out in Kenya. And spoke to Sarah Kimani, and that's an ongoing developing story there. And that siege going on into the morning hours, people still being evacuated. So we're keeping tabs on those developments. And the final one there, hashtag switch back on Zimbabwe. And this, of course, following the protest over the increase in fuel prices. And there have been shutdowns on the internet and social media platforms in general in Zimbabwe. And the hashtag obviously trying to urge the Zimbabwean government to switch back on. So those are some of the trending topics this morning. All right, so quite a lot going on internationally especially, and as always, we always want to hear from you, not just on our story of the day or question of the day, but on anything that may be on your mind, any of the stories that we will be covering here on Morning Live. We'll be taking forward that story on Law School Schweizerenica as well. We'll have a discussion just after 6:30 with regard to solidarity, their intervention there, and the teacher also coming out yesterday giving her view on what is going on. So we'll talk to that situation. We'll look at what's happening with regard to Brexit, and that, of course, a resounding historic defeat for Theresa May, and what's going to happen next. And of course, other developments in Zimbabwe, also in Kenya, and all around the State Capture Commission taking place. All right, so all of that still to come. We'll bring you that question of the day just after 6:30. But for now, of course, let's check in with Rob Byrne, the independent